Hi, I'm Chris Bilbao from Bilbao Boardgames, and this is the game Brym, where you are a skilled potion maker that brews and sells mystical goods to humans, trolls, and pixies. In this video, we're going to discuss how to play the game. So if you've ever played an outdoor scavenger hunt before, you can have a pretty good idea of what's going on. And if not, that's fine. By the end of the game, you should have a good understanding as well. So the first thing I need to say is you actually need to be outside to play this game, right? You need to be in some sort of a nature setting. Even if it's just walking around the neighborhood, that should be fine. For the game itself, there's not a whole lot to it other than the recipe book, which we're looking at right now. And if you're printing this out on your own, I'd suggest having a pencil to go along with it. This version actually I printed out through the Game Crafter, so it's laminated, so I'm going to use a dry erase marker. Finally, you actually need to be outside to find the ingredients on here in order to make the potions and whatnot, which we're going to jump into right now. So like I said, the recipe book is going to be used to show you what ingredients that you need to collect for potions, right? So when you spot an ingredient here while you're out on a walk, you need to announce it and then circle it here. So if you're walking and you see some clover, you say, hey, I see that, circle, right? So you're gonna keep doing that as you spot more things, just circle them on here, right? And you keep going because you're trying to collect ingredients to build potions. Now, building potions can happen at any point during the game. To build them, you actually need 3 ingredients and they all need to share the same market icon. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you look below each of these ingredients here, there is at least one little icon, and they're going to correspond to these 3 up here. And those are the markets that I was mentioned earlier, right? So the castles are for human markets, the bones are for troll markets, the rainbows are for pixie markets. And to build a potion, first you need to have 3 ingredients, but not only that, the 3 ingredients all need to share the same market icon. So you have a clover here, well, that can be used to build potions for humans. If I had the water plant as well, and let's say a nice flower, well, these 3 ingredients all have a castle. So now I can build a potion for humans. And you'll notice that sometimes the ingredients have 2 different icons, and that just means they can be applied to either or. So in this case, you know, I'd have a rainbow here for the flowers, but let's say I also found a feather, and I spot a bee. Well, rainbow, rainbow, rainbow. Those 3 ingredients would work for a pixie potion. So now once you build your potion, right, you need to price it, right? What's it worth? And that really depends on how you prepare it. So these ingredients in this section, these 6 right here, are all chopped. These in the middle have to all be ground up, and then these all have to be boiled. And the more preparation involved with a potion, the more it's worth. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's say I have 3 ingredients that are all in this chop section. So let's say while I'm out, I also found this dead flower, and now I can make a potion because I have 3 ingredients that all share a castle, a human icon. So if I were to make a potion with just these 3, all 3 ingredients are chopped, and that potion would be worth 1 point. And I would indicate that up here because they were for humans, which are the castles, they'd be worth 1 point. So I just scratch that off. But let's say I have an ingredient that's 1 part clover and 1 part water plant and 1 part tree stump, right? That means the clover is chopped and these 2 are ground up. That would be worth 2 points because it's chopped and ground. And let's say, again, if I were to have a clover, potion with part clover, part water plant, and part rock, those would be prepared 3 different ways, chopped, ground, and boiled. That would be worth 3 points, right? So the more variety involved, the more a potion is worth. So once you sell it, like I said, you kind of indicate it on the top here. You erase the ingredients you used to build it. So if I need one that was part clover, one that was part water plant, and one that was part rock, I can erase them and I can start collecting them again. Before that though, this next little feature, it's a silly part, especially if you have a younger or more playful audience, is you you actually describe what that potion did that you just sold, right? You're selling it to humans, and it's part clover, part water plant, part rock. Well, maybe it was made with a water plant, so maybe this magical potion allows you to breathe underwater. Or maybe the clover gives you some sort of luck or something. You can have fun with it. It's definitely a more silly aspect of the game, but like I said, I think it's a more important one as well. But basically, yeah, you would just keep going around, and as you're spotting things, you're finding things, but you're also building potions. So if you were to say, okay, I'm building another potion that's part flower, part feather, and part bee, those would be 3 different preparations, but all for pixies. So I'd indicate that that potion was worth 3 coins to the pixies, and it helps you fly. And you keep doing that until you fill up, well, all 5 coins in each of these 3 markets. Or, if you don't get that far, by the time your walk's over, whoever has the most coins. If you want to make the game easier, right, see, there's actually 2 sides with all different ingredients that you can collect. That should make it a little bit easier for you. If you want to make it harder, then I'd say once you're done building a potion, instead of erasing it, you just put an X through it, right? So if we were to make one from these 3 ingredients, an X goes through it and you're not allowed to use it again, right? So now you could only use these chopped ingredients and so on. It does make it more of a challenge there. But of course the rules can be adjusted and, tweaked however you need to. It's based on timing and players, right? Who your audience is. Important thing is just to have fun. And I did add a couple of cooperative variants. In this version, you guys are working together to collect ingredients. But kind of like what I said in the difficult mode, once you collect and use an ingredient, it's crossed out. You're not allowed to use it again. That should make it a little bit harder. You can also share ingredients. So if you have a feather and your partner needs something to build a pixie potion, you can give it to them. But kind of like the same way you use it, you'd have to exit out. And when they use it, they have to exit out as well. Again, just to give it more of a challenge, but feel free to change it however you need. In order to win that game, instead of getting all 15, I think 12 should be fair because it is a little bit more difficult. Likewise is another cooperative mode variant where you're working together. But in this time, once you collect ingredients and use them to build a potion, once that potion is made, you erase everything. You erase all of them, whether you used it or not for that potion. So you're essentially starting from scratch each time. But, you're allowed to make the same potions again. You're allowed to use the same ingredients again. You can even share ingredients without any sort of penalty because this time, everything gets erased. So there's no X. There's no finalized version or ingredient that you can't reuse. Just like the other cooperative variant, though, I'd say you need to collect 12 points in order to win. And that, though, concludes our video, right? I hope you enjoy it. I hope this adds to your walks, to your nature walks. And I appreciate you taking time to check out Brym and listen to me explain the game. Thanks. Bye.